don't need that account no more, man. I got my own nice deal, man.
I like it. That's how it's supposed to be.
Hey, you know how it was back then whenever Dad said, here, you only got 2,000.
Yeah. When I get weak.
Nah, that's how I be doing people now.
When Shedeur Sanders' first official Nike merchandise dropped, industry experts expected solid rookie numbers comparable to other hyped NFL debuts. What happened next blindsided everyone. Within minutes, servers crashed, warehouses sold out, and Nike's entire supply chain went into crisis mode. West Coast stores hadn't even opened, yet sellout notifications were flooding company dashboards. By hour 72, Shedeur Sanders had destroyed rookie sales records that take other stars entire seasons to hit. This wasn't just another merch release. This was a market earthquake. Even Nike's top brass weren't prepared. Multiple sources say an emergency executive meeting ended with complete disbelief. One internal comment captured it. This demand is off the charts in ways we've never seen before. The situation escalated so rapidly that Phil Knight himself reportedly demanded immediate answers for the supply chain failures crippling distribution nationwide. When Nike's founder is personally calling for explanations, you know the industry just witnessed something historic. But this story runs deeper than jerseys. Shedeur Sanders didn't just move product, he sparked a cultural phenomenon. Gen Z consumers who typically ignore NFL merchandise showed up in numbers that rewrote Nike's customer database overnight. Women accounted for nearly half of purchases, shattering traditional gender demographics. International buyers from Europe to Asia flooded Nike's platforms like this was a limited edition sneaker collab with a global superstar. This wasn't traditional sports merchandising. This was transformation.
Yeah, I'm just excited for all of them. I gifted a lot of receivers the Prime DT96s. You know, a couple of them had them on. So I just gifted a couple of like the main receivers going into this game. You know, I gifted them some cleats. Some wore them, some didn't. But I was like, okay, this is just my little appreciation gift to them. Because they don't be having a lot in stock. So I couldn't do everybody. I wish I could.
Shedeur Sanders isn't playing by conventional rules. He's converting his name, swagger, and authenticity into a worldwide brand that connects far beyond football, forcing every athletic apparel company to rethink their playbook. So what triggered this explosion? The firestorm ignited when the SS Crown logo launched. Nike's internal forecasts were ambitious but realistic. Nobody anticipated the first hour would obliterate entire day projections. Sales spiked so aggressively that servers kept crashing. Distribution centers reported complete sellouts before West Coast retail opened. Inventory managers frantically rerouted shipments, trying to keep pace with a frenzy that felt less like a rookie merch drop and more like a once-in-a-generation sneaker event. Inside Nike headquarters in Beaverton, crisis meetings convened immediately. Sources described CFO Matthew Friend frozen, staring at live data as numbers exploded. Phil Knight was back on the phone demanding explanations. Within 72 hours, Shedeur Sanders' merchandise didn't just outsell other rookies, it outpaced established superstars who anchor Nike's quarterly revenue.
Darius, look at these, Darius.
Oh no, I seen it.
How long do you think these gonna last in my office?
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna put a chip in there so I can know who's stealing.
I thought Shedeur wore those already. Well, I don't want to say.
Nah.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say
No, I
that.
gave him a pair, and he know he didn't wear it. He couldn't fit it. He's like 11 and a half. And he still put Vaseline on his feet and squeezed them in.
When Sanders' sales numbers leaked, Adidas reportedly convened an emergency strategy session within 24 hours. The harsh truth: Nike identified Sanders first. Executives rushed to pinpoint young athletes for fast-tracked endorsements. Under Armour accelerated scouting timelines. Brands initiated conversations with NCAA athletes. This wasn't standard competition. This was survival. New Balance explored unconventional partnerships. Puma reevaluated its entire North American approach. For years, endorsement wars moved slowly. Sanders' debut exploded that rhythm. Total disruption. Every brand executive had to admit they underestimated the culture. To Nike, this was triumph. To competitors, existential. If one rookie quarterback could trigger this tsunami, what if Nike discovered its next Jordan? Sanders' original contract wasn't structured for this magnitude. Urgent renegotiation started before Week 1 concluded. Representatives are pushing for precedent-shattering rookie compensation, superstar money without the waiting period. The contract included performance bonuses, merchandise royalties, and equity discussions. Within 72 hours, Sanders generated more revenue than some veterans produce quarterly. Bonus triggers designed for extreme circumstances were surpassed instantly. The agreement felt outdated within days. Nike doesn't appear to be resisting. Executives understand Sanders' value transcends footwear. For decades, rookies proved themselves on field before massive brand contracts. Shedeur Sanders obliterated that playbook. Nike isn't just paying for touchdowns. They're paying for cultural dominance.
Do you like the DT96s or the DT93s better?
I like the 96s because it's more of the flames on the side, and I like that. It's more like chill, but still like stylish like that. So I like those the most, because I feel like they're the most, personally, I think they're the most recognizable at this day and age to youth, to everybody like that.
When Sanders' sales numbers leaked, Adidas reportedly convened an emergency strategy session within 24 hours. The harsh truth? Nike identified Sanders first. Executives rushed to pinpoint young athletes for fast-tracked endorsements. Under Armour accelerated scouting timelines. Brands initiated conversations with NCAA athletes. This wasn't standard competition. This was survival. New Balance explored unconventional partnerships. Puma reevaluated its entire North American approach. For years, endorsement wars moved slowly. Sanders' debut exploded that rhythm. Total disruption. Every brand executive had to admit they underestimated the culture. To Nike, this was triumph. To competitors, existential. If one rookie quarterback could trigger this tsunami, what if Nike discovered its next Jordan? Sanders' original contract wasn't structured for this magnitude. Urgent renegotiations started before Week 1 concluded. Representatives are pushing for precedent-shattering rookie compensation, superstar money without the waiting period. The contract included performance bonuses, merchandise royalties, and equity discussions. Within 72 hours, Sanders generated more revenue than some veterans produce quarterly. Bonus triggers designed for extreme circumstances were surpassed instantly. The agreement felt outdated within days. Nike doesn't appear to be resisting. Executives understand Sanders' value transcends footwear. For decades, rookies proved themselves on field before massive brand contracts. Shedeur Sanders obliterated that playbook. Nike isn't just paying for touchdowns, they're paying for cultural dominance. While Nike secures his future, Sanders is proving his brand has genuine on-field credibility. In football, hype doesn't survive without performance. That's where Shedeur Sanders separates himself. He's delivering between the lines. Coaches praised his camp performances as composed, efficient, explosive. Reports highlight near-elite completion percentages and advanced decision-making. The film validates it. Deep balls with precision, off-script throws transforming broken plays into highlights. Fans detect hollow hype instantly. You can't sustain jersey sales without Sunday production. Sanders validates commercial momentum with legitimate talent. That's why his ascent feels earned, not manufactured. That authenticity explains why supporters invest deeply. It registers as genuine confidence, not corporate polish. Consistency translates to sales. Fans aren't just purchasing merchandise, they're buying identity. For Nike, that's invaluable. They're aligning with authenticity, the rarest commodity in sports marketing. The impact extends to the symbol attached to his name. Every successful athlete brand needs a signature mark. For Shedeur Sanders, that's the SS crown. In weeks, it evolved from design concept to cultural icon on streets, music videos, and social platforms worldwide. Nike's team created over 15 versions before Shedeur approved. The design, interlocking SS elements with subtle crown imagery, balances perfectly. It acknowledges primetime legacy without depending on it. This identity stands independently. The power isn't just aesthetics, it's what people experience wearing it. Fans see ambition, confidence, generational excellence. Wearing the logo makes a statement. Cultural adoption snowballed faster than Nike anticipated. Within days, the SS crown was everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, celebrity photos, hip-hop performances. Much happened organically without Nike purchasing ad placements. It spread because it resonated. That organic embrace is what competitors envy. Once a symbol becomes culture, the athlete becomes a movement. Sanders achieved this through authenticity. What happens when Nike's machine amplifies it globally? Sanders spent years cultivating genuine following through social platforms, building his image around confidence and engaging fans like equals. That's why the crown logo felt organic. Then Nike stepped in and everything amplified. Sanders' grassroots momentum plugged into one of the most powerful brand engines globally. Nike activated complete infrastructure. Global distribution rolled out immediately. Window displays in New York and Tokyo became full Sanders showcases. Nike's apps promoted Sanders' content, driving app downloads up hundreds of %. Synergy. Sanders brought cultural credibility, Nike brought worldwide reach. One source said, his brand worked like an algorithm. We just gave it a megaphone. Athletes who surrender to corporate branding lose what made them special. Sanders flipped that. Nike adapted to his vision. They didn't just launch merchandise, they launched cultural force. When Nike deployed Sanders merchandise into physical stores, the response was unprecedented. Flagships from New York to Los Angeles transformed into Sanders destinations. Massive SS crown displays dominated windows. Nike's Manhattan flagship recorded the highest single-day revenue in its history during launch week. Customers bought complete collections. One manager said, it felt like a Supreme drop collided with a championship celebration. The energy was insane. The chaos continued in secondary markets. Sanders merchandise traded like collectible stocks. StockX saw resale premiums surge into triple digits. Social media accelerated everything. Videos of lines around blocks, unboxing clips, celebrities wearing Sanders apparel. The hype cycle fed itself. This wasn't temporary, it was a global consumer movement. But one question echoes in boardrooms. How long can this last? History offers warnings. Rookie sensations often explode, then fade when performance slips or trends shift. What feels unstoppable doesn't always survive year 3. Skeptics argue the frenzy could cool, creating enormous pressure. Every throw carries weight beyond football. Rough performances and critics question whether the brand was overinflated. That's the burden of being more than an athlete. But others believe Sanders is built differently. His brand wasn't manufactured in one season. It was developed through years of storytelling and cultural awareness. He understands fans don't demand perfection, they demand authenticity. Many insiders believe his staying power exceeds skeptics' expectations. He's a content creator, cultural bridge, symbol for a generation valuing confidence and genuineness. Is Shedeur Sanders rewriting the blueprint for athlete branding, or testing how quickly hype transforms into pressure? The answer will shape more than his career. It could define the next era of sports marketing. Sanders' Nike debut was a cultural shockwave. In days, he evolved from promising rookie to industry disruptor, forcing powerful corporations to rethink strategies. This wasn't luck, it was a blueprint. Years of brand building, authentic connection, willingness to blend sports with culture. The result? Merchandise moving faster than restocks, resale markets treating gear like fine art. For Nike, Sanders proves betting on authenticity outperforms safe strategies. For rivals, it's a wake-up call. Modern consumers want relatable athletes. The story isn't finished. After all the numbers and headlines, Shedeur Sanders faces the ultimate test, turning a moment into a movement. If he succeeds, this won't be remembered as a rookie milestone. It'll mark the beginning of a sports marketing revolution.